Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Kings of the South podcast and NFC South podcast. We are your hosts, Corey and TJ. And if you're wondering, like, hey, didn't I just see this? No, we're recording two episodes in one night. Okay. We're not going to change clothes for this, folks. Okay. We love you, but we're not putting in that much effort right now. Okay.
Nah,
We
this ain't
conservative these days.
Hollywood.
Yeah, So yeah, this is what you get. We doubling up. We're committed. We're gonna get straight into these draft takes, brother. You ready for this?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
All right.
go.
So I'm kicking it off with a banger, man.
A banger.
Per Steve White and Dave Jeremiah from NFL Network. They're saying my Atlanta Falcons are primetime players to trade up into the top three. Uh,
Hmm.
I hope so,
Yeah,
but I also hope that JJ McCarthy go out there and wow some people in Indy.
yeah.
So that if we can't land up there, I can be persuaded into JJ McCarthy. He's only 20, about to turn 21.
Hmm.
He's a winner every step of the way. 6'2", 6'3", I believe. He's a little on the
Six
skinny
three.
side.
He's 6'3".
He's a little on the skinny side, but
Yeah.
we got a new strength and conditioning coach, and they're gonna beef him up. He can make every throw just because you haven't seen him throw at Michigan. That's because they didn't have to. They had the best running attack in
And
all of college
defense.
football. Yeah, and the best defense in all of college football. So they weren't requiring him to do much, but when they did, he delivered. Um, I believe a lot of these analysts had him graded out as the best quarterback in college football with the game on the line, big time throws. I'm not going to go into specific guys because I don't have those stats in front of me. You can look it up. It's there. Go on Twitter. So
Hmm.
it's there. Um, Now I'm not gonna lie, and like I know all these prospects. I've seen JJ McCarthy play. I wasn't impressed when I first watched him, but seeing how all these analysts breaking down his film, they're saying, "Oh, you just don't know what to watch for." And once they start breaking it down and sharing stuff, I started to see some things I like. He got more arm than I gave him credit for. He's more quick than I gave him credit for. He's more fast than I gave him credit for, and he is the only quarterback in this draft, really, that played 80 to 90% of his snaps under center. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to talk myself into it.
Yeah.
The past 2 years, I watched the quarterback throw a pass from his ass, and I watched Desmond Ritter throw like what, four red zone interceptions in the end zone, and I watched
Yeah.
him fumble twice out of the end zone. So yeah, I'll take whatever at this point. I'll take whatever, brother. I hope.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm curious to see if New England will actually trade out of three.
Mhm.
I know we've talked about it on personal phone calls off the cameras. Um, I just don't know, man. They're in a prime position for the first time in decades. They're they're in the top three of the draft. They never get that high.
I can
So
almost assure you they'll be that high again next year.
yeah, no, I'm not disputing that, but I just think that if I'm New England, I want to get a cornerstone player. And I know this draft is deep and it's a great class, top to bottom, every position. Well, majority of positions.
Mhm.
Um, I just think you can get a real franchise changing stalwart player at either left tackle, at receiver, or at quarterback.
Mhm.
I like the top three quarterbacks. I like Caleb Williams. I like Drake May. I like Jaden Daniels. I like them all for different reasons. And, Caleb Williams is everybody's, foregone conclusion as number one quarterback. But I mean, two and three, I played with the last few months, and
Yeah.
I told you that, and I wasn't trying to be hot takey, but I think that people are sleeping on Jaden Daniels more than they should.
Oh, brother. we'll get to that and it's
Yeah.
later on because I'm gonna take y'all to church in a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
I've
like I
heard some
did.
things. I don't know if you heard, since we're talking about combat and stuff, we might as well get into some of the rumors.
Hmm.
Um, the Commanders are doing a lot of homework on Jaden Daniels.
I'm not surprised. That's Cliff Kingsbury, their offensive coordinator. That's his cup of tea.
Hmm
I'm
He
not
likes
surprised by
mobile
that.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah.
And
Not that Drake May is not a mobile quarterback, but we all know
it's a different
Jaden
type of mobile.
Daniels. Yeah.
It's a
So
different type.
so Drake May is like a scrambler.
He's
Jaden
Matthew Stafford.
Daniels, yeah, yeah. Jaden Daniels is a runner.
Hmm.
Like he is a runner. He's a Lamar Jackson.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I feel like both of those top teams, Washington and New England, is taking a huge gamble with getting a quarterback and playing them behind their terrible offensive lines.
hmm
Um, but like you said, there's no guarantees whenever that you'll make it back in the top three to get a quarterback.
it's hard to get in the
Uh,
top three.
Now, I will say the media is putting a lot of like onus on the quarterback position. They amp it up times 10.
Oh
They're
yeah.
saying they're telling people to trade up into the top four to get JJ McCarthy.
Which is
Hey,
crazy.
that's
That's
ridiculous. I
crazy.
like JJ, but I don't like him top four, brother. I'm not. No.
I'm gonna be honest, and this is just me.
Hmm.
I don't even like him top eight. I don't. I just don't. I've seen mock drafts where Atlanta trades back with Minnesota or Denver or Vegas. I don't like that. There are arguably in my well, not even arguably. I think it's a fact. I think there's 10 players better than him. I don't even think he should go top 10,
I
personally.
mean, you're not wrong, but you know how it is. If you don't
Yeah.
have a quarterback, you do everything you can to get one.
Yeah.
And once upon a time, someone I'm not comparing the two, but one could argue that they were 10 players on the board that were better than Patrick Mahomes at one point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not comparing them, folks. I'm not saying JJ McCarthy is is the greatest
Uh,
quarterback of all time. I'm not saying that, but
yeah.
yeah, who knows at this point?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how the combine goes for these quarterbacks. I think that's the big story coming into it. But I think coming out of it, man, once you get past Marvin Harrison Jr., who's gonna be that number two? Because it's been Malik Neighbors for a while now, but Rome Odunze,
Yeah. Oh, let's have that conversation now. Holy shit! If you were in need of a wide receiver, this is your draft.
this is your
This
draft.
is your draft. Uh,
Carolina,
hey, there should be
we need a couple of
there should
them.
be some well available in the second round,
Yeah,
second or third round, just
yeah,
based on positional needs. It's a deep tackle draft, it's a deep
yeah,
corner draft, it's a deep wide receiver draft.
yeah.
Yeah, so much so that Lance Zerling of NFL Network, he put out his annual scouting report on all the players, and he ranked them in his system from like I think the high sixes. I don't think anyone's ever got a seven, but the high sixes to like the ones or whatever, and the six anywhere from the high sixes to like the low sixes is like starter level uh player. He had 22 receivers at a starter level player. He graded out 22 receivers in his draft that could be starters in the NFL. That is
Yeah.
insane. That is probably the deepest I've ever seen it. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. This wide receiver class is top to bottom the best wide receiver class I've ever seen. And it's crazy because some of these guys don't have a lot of college production, but you look at the tape and you look at the measurables, the athleticism, so high floor players, so many high floor players. just it's crazy. And I know it's Marvin Harrison and then it's everybody else, but damn, is everybody else really good? Everybody else is really good. And Marvin
Man,
Harrison's going to be elite. He is going to be that Julio Jones, that AJ Green, that Calvin Johnson. He's going to be that guy. But damn, there's so many good receivers in this class.
yeah, bro. So they got AJ Green and Marvin Harrison Jr. They got Jamar Chase and Malik Neighbors, and they got Larry Fitzgerald and Ronald Duvernay.
Yeah,
Pick your poison. It's all it's pick your flavor in this in this
yeah,
wide receiver draft. And
yeah,
quick shout out to your boy Lat McConkey, man. Like he's a
yeah.
juiced up Cooper Cup, man.
He is. He's a very juiced up Cooper Cup. You can call him Julian Edelman 2.0. You can call him whatever you want.
They're comparing him
Um,
to Elijah Moore, which is like once they said it, I was like,
yeah,
I think he's gonna have to be more productive than Elijah
yeah.
Moore.
That's why I kind of made a face when you said Elijah Moore. I'm like, wow,
Hey,
Elijah Moore is
if
not very
Elijah
good.
Moore gets on the right team, he will be a dog. But he's not on the
We've been
right
saying that
team
for
now.
years.
He
Hey,
wasn't drafted
hey, send
into
him to the
the.
Chiefs. Send him to the Chiefs.
So I don't think you want to see that, brother. I'm telling you.
Hey, I rather see that than T. Higgins.
Hey, well, we won't see T. Higgins anywhere. I don't think now. Well, who knows? Hey, we'll find out in Indy. We'll find out. All the rumors start swirling.
Hey, I give it less than 2 weeks. I say about 2 weeks. One of these receivers is getting traded. Whether it's Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins, one of
Or
them's getting traded.
or Amari Cooper.
That too, yeah. They need to clear
Throwing it out
cap
there.
space. They need to clear cap space.
Just throwing it out there. So yeah,
Ugh.
the receivers, man, they're
Yeah.
out of this world. They're gonna be so many studs. Um, it's gonna be crazy, and they're all gonna test out of this world at the combine this
Hmm.
coming week, and I can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, so a guy that nobody's really talking about, he's not getting talked about as much. He's yet even being talked about as falling out of the first round is Xavier Worthy out of Texas. He is a little undersized in weight. That's the concern, his weight. I think he's going to run probably the fastest 40 time out of the receivers because he is a dynamic deep threat. Like he is fast. He's Jalen Waddle-esque. He's that good as far as speed. He's undersized, obviously, so there's concerns about that. Another one, Troy Franklin.
Oh
I
man,
l- I
they're
love
bro,
Troy
they're
Franklin.
they're saying that he's going to be the like everyone's talking about. Oh, Brian Thomas, is going to go, in the team. They're like, no, Troy Franklin is going to go in that spot.
Yeah. Brian Thomas, I've a lot of analysts and draft experts are saying he's going to possibly fall out of the first round or back into the first round. Not that he's not talented enough, but there's just so many other guys that have these different traits. And also, too, the system that was ran in LSU, there's concerns that it was just a receiver, you know, beneficial scheme.
And, hey, it
I
worked out well
mean,
for the last two. It worked
yeah.
out well.
So, I mean, I'll take Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's great.
I'll take any of these receivers. If I'm
Yeah,
being
this
honest.
receiver class,
I'm not.
man.
Yeah, if my team goes, they pick a receiver at 8. They pick a receiver second round if we have that pick. If they pick him in the third round if we have those picks. I really don't care. I don't care who it is because we need receivers. I don't care because they're all going to be good. They're
Yeah,
all going to be good. Some may be better than others, but they're all going to be good.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, we didn't even talk about Devontae Walker, Malachi Corley, and
Roman Wilson, my boy Roman.
Roman Wilson,
Yeah, it's
Jalen
loaded.
Polk, who's the number two
Bro,
receiver in
it's loaded,
Washington.
bro. Malik Washington is loaded. It is
McMillan,
absolutely
McMillan was
loaded.
the slot receiver in Washington. There's so many
AD
receivers.
Mitchell, bro. We didn't bring up AD Mitchell.
AD Mitchell, yeah, he's another one. Brendan Rice. I love Brendan Rice. Jerry Rice's son.
Yeah,
Love him. I hope
yeah.
he comes to Carolina. He's probably not going to come to Carolina, but I love Brennan Rice. I
Who
think he's a
knows,
great
man? Who
receiver.
knows, brother?
He's a
Xavier
six
Leggett.
foot three
We forgot Xavier.
Leggett.
Yeah. So, folks, take our word for it. This is the
Yeah.
deepest receiver class you're probably ever going to see.
Yeah.
Um,
Ever. Yes.
it's going to be some studs. You're gonna be looking on TV on Saturday, third round, like degenerates because we all are,
Yeah.
and go, oh, they got that player in the third round. That's a good pick. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
You're gonna see it a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so
Another thing I want to say too, so let's change course a little bit here because we've been talking about offense a lot. I think so. I said a big story to pay attention to is who's going to be number two receiver after the combine, after Marvin Harrison. But I think an even more important story is who's going to be the first defensive player off the board and how high are they going? Because this defensive class is not getting talked about as much as the offensive part of it because there's so many good offensive players. But man, there's a lot of great defensive players that are in this draft that a lot of people aren't talking about. I
yeah,
mean, when you do a lot
yeah,
of mock drafts, you see all these mock drafts on YouTube and on the internet. Um, it's mostly offensive players that go in the top 10. And
yeah.
I'm talking tackles, I'm talking
Such
receivers,
a deep
quarterbacks.
draft, bro. It's such a
Brock Bowers is
yeah.
going top 10
It's
in
such a
most.
deep draft.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I think that's going to be the biggest story to come out of the combine is how did the defensive players perform? Does anybody improve their draft stock to whether they're a top 10 pick, like a rock solid top 10? Leatu Latu from UCLA is someone
oh,
to pay attention to. I
yeah,
know he has a bad medical history. He had to retire from football at one point and then he came back. But man, you want to talk about edge rusher and
yeah.
someone that you need to rush the passer? Atlanta
Oh yeah,
could totally use
oh yeah,
Leatu.
oh yeah. He
Um,
he's not going to test well. He's not going to run the fastest 40, which
no,
I'm prepared for that. I don't
I
think
think it's the medicals for him
yeah,
more so than anything.
yeah. But I think with Jalen Phillips producing the way he's producing after that, after he had to medically retire, I feel like it's not as big of a hurdle as it once was.
Yeah.
But simply put, Leatu Latu is the best pass rusher I've ever seen in college football. The
Mm,
best. He is
yeah.
unguardable. You cannot you he left offensive linemen grabbing air, like picking up turf
Hmm.
with 2 steps. He is so polished and so refined as a pass rusher. The way he uses his hands, the way he uses leverage, the way his first step. He has every tool in his bag. If you want to use a rip move, he can use it. You want to do a little bit of a hump move, he can do it. If you need to do a spin move, he can do that too. He he can do it all. You won't have to. He is probably the safest edge rusher in this class. You pick him, you're like, all right, we got a 10 to 12 sack guy every year for you know the rest of his career. You ain't got to worry. He's not a guy you can draft and like Dallas Turner, because he got all these traits and you're just hoping that he can put it all together.
Mm.
Because as a cautionary tale, my Atlanta Falcons it was a Tuesday guy coming out of Clemson who had all the tools, had the motor, had the speed, had the length, everything you would want. You just had hope that he put it together. And
Yeah.
he did for about 2 seasons. And now he's
Out of the league.
yeah, Vic Beasley. So
Yeah.
um I'm tired of betting on trades. Give me the guy who's good now.
Yeah.
And Leatu Latu is good now. Him and Jared Verse. Give me one of the two.
Yeah. Jared Verse more of a power guy. He has speed, but he's definitely more of a power guy, especially when you compare him to Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner is more of a finesse speed guy off the edge. Uh, Latu is just total package, in my opinion. Obviously, the health concerns will dictate how high he goes. Um, but also, too, another guy that our good old friend,
Mhm.
uh, Trevor Sikkema. Um,
Yeah, we roll together. We're in the same
Yeah.
system, you know.
Connor Rogers, our
Yeah,
buddies
yeah, yeah.
from PFF. They were talking about Byron Murphy, and I've heard other people talk about Byron Murphy from
Mhm,
Texas. You want someone who can rush the passer on the interior? You want a Chris Jones, you want an Aaron Donald-esque player? Byron Murphy, man. And he's
mhm,
not talked about enough because he's an interior lineman. That's not the sexiest position. You know, when you talk defense, you're talking edge rusher, corner, safety, and then you're getting into the D linemen, the D tackles, the linebackers. But Byron Murphy's another one to watch out for at the combine. He is super athletic. He is a beast, and he dominates. He dominated at Texas, and I'm curious to see how he performs. What's his 40 time at the combine? Because he's very athletic for an interior lineman,
mhm,
and that's someone that you definitely want to pay attention to.
mhm,
Because I mean, the NFL is trending in that direction again, where you got interior linemen who are just dominating the league. Derek Brown, Quentin Williams, Chris Jones, Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins, you could even say. I mean, Christian Wilkins was more of a D end in a 3-4 this year, but he also played interior.
mhm,
So just those kind of guys that just wreak havoc for the interior part of your offensive line. So I'm curious to see how the D line and the edge rushers perform in this combine coming up.
mhm,
Um, and then you got to talk about the cornerback position, man. This cornerback position is deep.
mhm.
There's a lot of guys not getting talked about, but one guy I'm curious to see because he had a great Senior Bowl, Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Be
Mhm.
very curious to see how he performs at the combine next week
Oh yeah. You
because he
know,
could solidify himself as a top 10 pick.
yeah. Oh, well, I don't see top 10. Top 15, yes. Um,
I heard as high as Denver at 12.
yeah, yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah. It's been a lot of debate with these corners, man, about who's the number one corner. I've been hearing Terrion Arnold. I've been hearing Quinyon mentioned. I've been hearing what's the other guy out of
Nate
Missouri?
Wiggins.
Nate
Oh,
Wiggins. I heard him. I heard Rakestraw out of Missouri.
Rakestraw, Missouri. You also have Kool-Aid
Mhm.
McKinstry out of Alabama.
So yeah, I'm interested in seeing that. I'm not interested as much as the 40 times because I know they're gonna, be
Yeah.
fast. They're cornerbacks. They're gonna be fast.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I
for
want to see
sure.
them running the cornerback drills. I want to see them how they get out of the back pedal. I want to see how quickly they can move, how fluid they can move their hips. I want to see their
Oh yeah.
ball skills. I want to see if they can catch. Do it look natural catching, or is it a labor catching the ball? That's what I'm looking for with these corners. I feel like all of them is going to be. What a year, man! What a year to need a corner. What a year to need a receiver. What a year to need. I can't wait. I can't
Edge
wait.
rushers. I
I can't
mean, and
wait,
this
man.
edge rush class is low key,
It's
pretty
pretty
deep
deep.
as
We ain't even
well.
talk about Chop Robinson, man. We ain't
Yeah,
talking
Chop
about it.
Robinson.
It's good.
Also, the other guy out of Alabama,
Oh yeah, your boy Chris.
Braswell.
Yeah,
Yeah, Braswell. Also, back to receiver real quick. Another guy we did not mention earlier, Keon Coleman from Florida State.
yeah.
And he is falling down draft boards and mock
Mhm.
drafts. A lot of people have him going second round, and it's crazy. And it's
Yeah.
all going to be dictated on his 40 time. What does he run at the combine?
He's gonna run like a 4.5, but for that size, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't care. I don't. Hey.
But it just goes to show you this class, another corner, TJ Tampa out of Iowa State,
Mhm.
another great corner.
Yeah.
I mean, I got so many names right here.
Yeah, man.
The safety class is really good. You got Kalen King from Penn State, another corner.
Mhm.
Chris Jenkins, another D tackle. The son of former Panther great Chris Jenkins.
And y'all gonna try to bring him back home, brother.
I hope. I I will put money because do you know who's also in this draft? Not just Chris Jenkins' son, but also Musa Muhammad's son.
Oh no, no, he went back. He went back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he went
Oh
back. He went back.
no.
Yeah, next year, buddy. Next year, bring him.
Is he still at A&M?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of glad he went back because I was hearing that he might go like day 3.
Yeah.
I want to see him go day 2 at least.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, it's a great draft, man. It's gonna be incredible. I feel like now is the perfect opportunity, man, to get into some of our it's a new segment. It's called Our Guys. You
yeah,
know, every year, every draft season, every person who loves football, who follows it the way we follow it, they have a couple guys who are their guys. Um, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. One of my big misses, I thought Brian Brown was going to be good. I was terribly wrong, but I feel like I could have been right if he would have went to a better situation. But that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there.
yeah, you
Um,
know.
so
Hey, remember Johnny Football?
you know, I still this is the hill I will die on. If he wanted it,
Oh
he
yeah,
could have been an all-time great.
oh yeah.
But
Especially in today's NFL with how they do spread offense.
mhm, yeah, I don't think he wanted it. Yeah, let's kick it off, man. And this one, I'm gonna start off. This is a man. I'm about to take y'all to church for a second. This is a man that my co-host can attest to that from the day I saw him in his first start as a skinny 18-year-old kid at Arizona State, my exact words were, this guy's gonna be a star. This guy's a franchise quarterback. Now that take got a little rough for a couple of years. It was a little rough, but I said, I believe in it. I'm pounding the table. He's a guy. He played with poise. He makes the right decision. He don't turn the ball over that much. And look at him now, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
I said it from the jump. I just saw something in him, man. I just like I saw something in Drake May when I saw his first game against Appalachian State. Even though I think they lost that game, but it was,
Yeah. It's neither here nor there.
yeah. Jaden, man, he just got he has it. I don't know what it is, but he got it. And it's the aura, man. He got the the sauce, brother. He got the sauce, man. And
Yeah, he's got the
yeah,
magic juice.
yeah, man. Now, give me one of your guys there, brother.
Well, I've been talking about him for months now. Peyton Wilson
Mhm.
from NC State, linebacker, which to me is a need for Carolina. Hopefully, we go in our own backyard, go draft one of our guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson from NC State, man. I'm a huge NC State fan. Anybody who knows me knows that. Um, he, while he has an injury history that's concerning, when he's healthy, he is one of the most dominant linebackers I've ever seen in college football. Easily. Like he reminds me of Luke Kuechly. Like that's how damn good he is. I watched Luke Kuechly when he was at Boston College. Um, hopefully he can live up to that level of player. He's projected right now because of all the injuries he's had to go day 3, maybe late day 2. I'm curious to see what he does at the combine and how he performs on the 40. But just watching tape and watching games, anybody who knows football, he's a great linebacker. So I'll be curious to see what he does at the combine.
This next one, man. Probably one I'm the most, about, but I'm gonna pound the table, man. Devondre Sweat, defensive
Yeah,
lineman, Texas.
another Texas guy.
The sheer size of this man. I believe he's 6'4", 6'5", 270 pounds. Now there's no way on God's green earth he's gonna play in the NFL at 370. That's not gonna happen. He needs to
Mm-mm.
get down about 330, 335, 340 at the most. But as a run stuffer, I don't think there's a better one in the draft. And while some people say he offers nothing in the pass rush, I tend to disagree.
Yeah.
He has some stuff. He has some things, and with the right coaching staff that can be refined, that can be picked up. He has the quickness. He has a short area quickness to evade an offensive lineman to get in the backfield. And if he's paired in the right situation, not saying he's going to be that, but Vita Vea vibes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I did say I heard he was on the heavier side at the Senior Bowl,
Oh yeah,
so that'll be a concern.
Buddy would push about 375,
He
380.
was, he
Buddy
was.
big, buddy big, buddy
Yeah.
big.
I'm gonna go another name that people probably might not be too familiar with. I am gonna go with Graham Barton out of Duke. I really like him. He's versatile. He can play all across the line. Graham Barton should be a first round pick. I think what he does at the combine is going to dictate a lot of that. His versatility alone should make him a first rounder. He's a very talented offensive lineman, very solid starter throughout his college years. So I'll be curious to see what he does at the combine. But that's another guy that I really like.
Mhm.
Another Carolina guy, Duke, NC State. You know,
So he's
checking
gonna,
off the boxes.
yeah, he's gonna go for the trifecta, guys. He's gonna his last pick. He's gonna pick Cedric Gray, linebacker out of UNC. Uh, but my last guy, man, I talked about him a little bit earlier. Anytime I've ever watched Michigan football, which I will admit it wasn't that much. Anytime they had big time games, I watched. But anytime I watch those games, one player popped on offense every single time. Roman Wilson, man. Uh,
Yeah.
the way I did not know he was that fast because
Yeah.
you never see Michigan chuck it deep for 75 yards. They don't. That's not their game. But when he gets the ball, man, he got wheels. He showed it last year, and he improved upon it this year. His route running had gotten better. He was cooking foods at the Senior Bowl. His hands are, sure. He's one of the smoother route runners in this draft. He's drawn a lot of comparisons, a lot of comps to Chris Olave.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me I can potentially get Chris Olave in the second or third round?
Yeah.
Sign me the hell up. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'll take it right now.
Yeah.
Roman Wilson is one of my guys. Watch out.
My last one. Uh,
Go ahead,
it's
do it, man.
tough.
I know. I think I know what you're gonna do, man. Because you've been pounding the table for this guy, man.
Oh dang! Now you make me question myself. I'm gonna go off the cuff with this one because I ain't talked about tight ends very much.
Okay.
I'm going Jatavian Sanders out of Texas.
Ooh, 6'4". Ooh.
I know people love Brock Bowers. I know Brock Bowers has every right to be a top 15 pick. But man, Jatavian Sanders out of Texas, another great tight end who should be a full-time starter when he gets drafted in the NFL. He's that good. He can start day one. Very underrated, but he's very athletic and he's a great pass catcher, great vertical threat. I want to see what he does at the combine.
Yeah. Yeah, he's another guy who, like Roman Wilson, he didn't get the opportunities because the team didn't need him to. But
Exactly.
when he got those opportunities, he balled out. He looked good. Um,
Hmm.
he has some speed as a tight end. You can't really teach. You
Yeah.
can't really. He's faster than Sam Laporta. And
Mm-hmm.
Sam Laporta just lit the league on fire. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, I like that. Um, folks, we have a hell of an offseason in store waiting for us. We hope you guys stick around with us. We're gonna be with you whenever big news hits, and even when it's not. So be sure to keep watching, keep subscribing, keep looking for us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be here. We're gonna be bringing you the good stuff, folks. Until next time.
Peace.